Bonjour à tous. Hello everyone. Hope you're all well. Well, I've got a bit of sore throat, but I'm sure I can manage. So, as you could see, today we're going to see how to make sentences with some verbs. So, in French, normally verbs end in er or re or ir. So, this is the normal pattern in French, but in English, it's not like that. So, it could be anything. For example, to help, to see, to go, to make, to do. So it's all like with the consonants and all of those things. Yeah. So there is no such thing. But we are going to concentrate on French. So as you could see, in English and French, they're all regular verbs and irregular verbs in both of them. So you don't have to worry about these verbs, irregular or regular verbs or anything at this time. Yeah, so we are going to concentrate on that as we go along. So the first one is aider. So aider means like to help. So even in English, you have to aid. Yeah, to aid means to help, even in English. So as I mentioned before, most of the verbs are almost, like 60% of the verbs similar to English and French. So it would be much easier for anyone, any English speakers learning to French. It would be much easier. As the same thing goes for the francophone as well, anglophone and francophone. But if anybody is like a non-speaker of English, it's not a problem again. So you should be able to easily switch yourself in both languages as they are similar. So if you're speaking either one of these languages, English, so you should be able to know almost 60% of the vocabulary. So this is going to be a really good process for any non English speakers to learn English as well as French. So just let me know in the comment box which language do you like to learn, or which one are you getting help from this video. That'll be great help for me to understand, and then I can just make contents more related to our audience. Okay, so ide, to help. Okay, and then ale. So if I put ayar, it is irregular verb, but not to worry about that. You don't have to remember any of those things now. So to go, war, to see, faire, to do or to make. So for example, if I want to say a faire, if I want to make a cake, j'ai fait un gâteau. If I am doing homework, so in English we say I'm doing the homework, okay, or I'm doing homework, I'm doing my homework, or I'm making a cake, okay. So it's a different thing in English. So you have to use two different verbs in English for the French verb faire. So as you can notice, aider. So there is a er. So but I was just put a reminder, and then it just started to ring about that. It's okay. Okay, so ide. So you're not pronouncing the R. Okay, ide, and then ale is like a ale. War, yes, you have to pronounce the R, but not so strong. War. Fair, yes, you have to do that. So these are some examples of verbs that they are ending in er, and then the reverse one re, which is fair, and then ir verbs. Okay, so just I've given you some examples, but we're not going to do all the verbs today. We are going to slowly look at in the coming videos. So we could see le temps. Le temps means like a tenses. Like in English, we've got present tense, past tense, present continuous, and so on. Okay, so le présent. En français, le présent. In English, present tense. So we saw the ede, so like jed. Okay, so you just drop the R and then you say jed. But it's not like a jade, you just say jed. Jed, okay? And I help. And in the present continuous, I am helping. Yeah. And then you can also say, if any English learners, I'm helping. So I apostrophe am, I'm happy. So there is no present continuous or past continuous, any continuous in French, there is no. So instead, what we could say, you can use the jet or en train de. So you have to use the word en train de. And then you see the verb en train de, you have to put the full form, not dropping the R. In the present tense, we just dropped R, we just say jet. Okay. If you're already conjugated the verb because je suis is a conjugated already because it's the être verb is conjugated. So if you conjugated the first verb, you don't have to conjugate the next verb or third verb or fourth verb, whatever, when you have only one subject, which is je. If you have the subject changing, then we are going to see that as we go along. Okay, so if you want to say le présent or present continuous, you can say j'aide. It's no problem. But if you are going to say in English, it depends if it is a present tense, like routine work, or like what else we can say, routine or habit. These things we use present tense. We can see this when to use present tense, when to use present continuous in the later lessons. I'm just trying to help you to converse either in English or in French, whatever you are learning. Okay. So in present continuous, I'm happy. Whereas in French, you just say j'aide. If you're comfortable with using both j'aide, just use them. When you are trying to use in English, according to the situation in English, you have to use either I have or I'm happy. Okay, j'aide. In French, je suis en train d'aider. Je suis en train d'aider. Okay, so tu aides. Okay, so here what we done, we added the s. Whereas in English, if the third person, like he, she, it, I can show it to you now. I think, oh, yeah, she helps. So if you see that one, in the present tense, we put he, she, we put the s. Whereas in French, we put with the tu aid. Okay. So again, in spoken language, you can also say t'aide. It's normally because I said like a j'aide, because the je, we already seen this lesson initially. You can just check the other videos. We talked about être and other things. So if it is je and then another vowel, then we just delete the first verb, the verb in the first word. Sorry, the vowel. So vowel means like in French is a voyelle. Okay, so you delete the first vowel in the, the first word, the vowel in the first word, and then you just join with the second word. So j'aide. Okay, as you could probably see, j'aide. And then here we're supposed to put tu aides. But normally we don't delete that because U is also a vowel, A is also a vowel, but for the two, by law, we don't have to delete it. But in spoken language, you could say t'aide. You can just delete it and you can put apostrophe, okay? Tu aides or t'aide. So tu is informal and informal. So because if it is a masculine situation, you have to say informal. If it is a feminine situation, you have to say informel. Okay, so not to worry about all of these things. We are just trying to do some communication. So how to communicate, just like a crash course. So the rest of the grammar things, once you get your basic really good, you should be able to concentrate on the rest of the things. Not to worry. I guarantee you'll be able to speak really good French in 3 months if you just continue to follow my videos. I guarantee you that. So tu aides, t'aide. Okay, informal, informal. So you help and you are helping. So in English, you could be informal or formal. It doesn't matter. It could be singular or plural. It doesn't matter. Okay, you are helping. And then the next one is spoken language, you are. So in English, if you're writing the apostrophe I'm and you are, is again spoken language. It's not formally, you shouldn't be, if you're writing a formal letter to somebody else, do not use the apostrophe or anything. Any English learners, this is the tip for English learners. The native speakers, I'm sure they know that one. So I apostrophe am is informal. So if you're writing a formal situation, do not use all these apostrophe, all these contracted forms and stuff. Okay, you're helping. So again in French, tu es en train d'aider. Tu es en train d'aider or t'es. You can put T apostrophe S. T'es en train d'aider. So now we are coming to il. Okay, il aide. So il aide. So whenever I put this like underscore, it means like it's a liaison. You have to do the liaison, but some of them I missed it. I forgot to put it. But there is not really, there is a liaison because you can't hear it, where with the S you can. I'm going to show it to you in a second, but just try to, like kind of try to do the liaison, like pushing the first letter on top of the next word. So il aide, okay, he helps. Or the present continuous, he is helping. Il est en train de aider. Elle est en train d'aider. Okay, elle aide, she helps, she's helping, elle est en train d'aider. And then the on aide, I forgot to put it. So on means it's spoken language for the nu, for the we. Okay, but if you can see here, it's the wrong grammar, on aide, because on means the we, but we are using the wrong grammar. But it is acceptable. Okay, so it's literally that's how we speak. If you have to speak in French, you just say on aide. You don't say on aide. So that's why I just listed underneath the il. Okay, so il aide, on aide, il aide, elle aide, on aide, we help. Okay, so that's again spoken language. On dit, on parle, like French people when they speak, they say, okay, on dit, like we say, or on parle, we speak. So they don't normally use ne. So nu is again informal. You can't even see sometimes the on in formal grammar books or anywhere else. So I'm going to talk about what kinds of books that would be helpful later on. I can put a video about that one as well. So here you see nous aidons. So you see the S, you're pushing the S on top of the next vowel, the vowel on the next word, nous. So you're supposed to be giving the sound z, nous aidons. Whereas elle aide, il aide don't have the sound z, but you're still doing a liaison, il aide, elle aide, okay? Nous aidons, we help. We are helping and we are helping. So the second one, we are helping in English, it's informal. Don't use it in a formal situation. So nous avons, so again here, nous avons, z. So N-U, N-O-U, S, and then A. So nous avons, en train d'aider. Okay? Here the vous is a formal situation. So you could see vous aidez, like it's in French it's formal, vous. But in English, it could be singular or it could be plural, it could be informal, it could be formal. So they always have the respect anyway. Very polite as all, right? So vous aidez. So again, we are using here the liaison, vous aidez. You help, and then present continuous, you are helping, but there is 2 asterisk marks, which means that there is no present continuous in French, but we can use en train de. Okay, the word is en train de. This is the word. I'll show it to you in a second. En train de. You already seen it. Okay, vous aidez. You're helping. Vous êtes en train d'aider. And if you're going to do the plural singular, no, I mean plural in third person. So we're just saying ils aident, okay? So you don't pronounce the ENT. Lots of letters are not being pronounced in French, okay? Ils aident, they help, they are helping. And again, here also in English, you can put they and then apostrophe, RE. You can take the A. Yeah, I have written it on the next one. Okay, you're going to see that in a minute. Ils aident, they help, they're helping. Ils sont en train de, ils sont en train de, ils sont en train d'aider. Okay? Ils sont en train d'aider. So if it is feminine, we're supposed to say elles aident. So, and as you could see here, I've just put this ENT, I crossed it. Can you see that? ENT, I crossed it, okay? Can you see that? So something moving in there. So we don't do the pronunciation. So if you're learning, and then you can try to write it in your notebooks in pencil, so that you would remember not to pronounce the LZ, yeah, LZ. So here also you shouldn't be pronouncing it. And then he or she, they are helping. So this is the informal situation. They are helping in English, okay? So LZ, elles sont en train d'aider. So en train. And then you put the full one. So as I mentioned earlier on, in French there is no present tense. So present tense means British English. Present progressive mean American English. So hereafter if I put BR, E means British English, AME means American English. So in French there is no present tense or present progressive. But if we want to use continuous tense, we could use en train de. Okay? So I hope I am happy. J'aide. You can always say for both j'aide or je suis en train d'aider. Okay, so literally, what does he mean? I am in the process of helping. So the en train means in the process, and the de means of, aider means helping. So as simple as that. And you can use en train de for continuous tense for all tenses, like such as past continuous, future continuous, etc. So not to worry about these things. We are going to see all of these things slowly, okay? J'étais en train d'aider. So because I do not want anyone to memorize any of those things. We need to enjoy the language, right? So if you just enjoy it, it becomes part of your memory. So that's what we are trying to do here. So research says about 7 times. You need to see if you are learning something new or new words. You need to see in seven times at least. Okay, 7 different ways. Like for example, fill in the blanks or match the following, or in questions or in dialogues and so on. Lots of different ways. That's what the research says. 7 times. So what was I saying? Yeah. So you're going to see lots and lots of things. In the future videos. So I do not want anyone to memorize or anything. And then we have to. It's like kind of entertaining, isn't it? So although through entertainment you are just learning a language, which is really fantastic. That we've got YouTube. YouTube is enabling us to have fun and learn at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So I've just given you the past continuous. J'étais. So je suis. So suis is the present tense. Été is past tense. So for the être, like suis. Even in spoken language, people are not going to say je suis. They say suis. We're going to see that as well in the next video. So j'étais en train d'aider. So you just change the first instead of je suis and j'étais. And for the il était or and so on, you can use it and all those things you can change it. So this is just if anybody is learning English. So order of pronouns in English system. This is how they pay. Pronoun singular and plural. So first person means like talking about ourselves, oneself, so me. That's the first person. Second person means in front of me, that you are in front of me. Okay. Third person means they are not here in our conversation, they are somewhere else. Maybe they are outside, they are in the street. So you say she or her or it or they, whatever, that's called third person. I don't think even native people, unless they are a teacher, they would know first person, second person, third person, because they normally start to speak, right? So from home. And so they're not going to think about all of those things. But it is good to know if you want. You don't have to learn all of these things just from dropping these points. Okay, so in English, this is how the system is set: singular and plural, I and we. So I help, we help, and second person you help, you help, and then third person he helps, she helps, it helps, they help. Whereas in French system, it's a different way. Before we go into that, so you can also say first person. It's the Roman letters, so you can also say first person, but I just, in order for you to understand, that's why I put like first. So there are 3 different ways of saying this. Okay, first person, this is the Roman letter, then second person and third person, or you can just say like in full form, first person, second person, third person. Okay, so order of pronouns in French written system, this is how it would be. The reason why I have given to you, later on I'm going to do some books, and then in the books we are going to learn the conjugation. So this is how it would be ordered in this order. So it might be, if I change the thing, then it might be difficult for you to remember. So first you say je, singular, tu is singular, il is singular. Yeah. So first person, second person, third person, singular. So it's not parallelly like in English system. Obviously, you don't see this one in books, in grammar books or anything. It's just spoken, but I have given it to you here. So, je, tu, il, elle, that's all you would see. So, on is the nous instead of nous. So, nous égale on, nous equals on. And then you see, so you won't be seeing this on, okay? So you see je, tu, elle, elle, and then it moves on to nous, vous, elle. And I've also given L. Okay, I forgot to give the L. Plural, ELLS, okay? So that's how the system works. So in the previous videos, I have talked about avoir and être verbs. So today we talked about the être verbs. So where did we get, like je suis en train d'aider. Where does it come from? So you don't have to blink. So if you have watched my previous videos. So avoir and être, they are auxiliary verbs. They are helping verbs because they are telling the action is happening now or in the continuous or in the past or in the future. So they are called auxiliary verbs. I've also put another video about auxiliary verbs. Again, in the coming videos, I'm going to introduce lots of things, okay? So I've talked about avoir and être verbs, and these two verbs are so important for forming past tense, continuous, etc. There are lots of things. We are going to talk about this more in detail in the coming videos. So just to remind us, les pronoms, okay, the pronouns, okay, the I, you, he, she, they are the subject pronouns, okay. So it's for example, like instead of a name, you say I, and instead of Smith, you say you. Instead of Sheila, you say she. Instead of whatever, Richard, you say he, and so on. These are the pronouns, okay? So here, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous avons, vous avez, ils sont, elles sont. So here, I'm just saying soft one because there are two S. There is no vowel here, okay? So, ils sont, elles sont. But here, z, because there is a vowel there. Vous avez, nous avons. Here also, there are two vowels, so we're not deleting one of those things because you can't, it's the system like that. Elle. And here I'm doing a liaison, but it's not really visible. Il est, tu es. All of these things I'm doing liaison, but it's not so visible or soundable to hear for you. Je suis. So the first one is suis. Instead of okay, I'm trying to see my mouse. My mouse starts. Okay, there you go. Je suis. It's supposed to be suis. Je suis. Okay, tu es, il est, elle est, nous avons, vous avez, ils sont, elles sont. This is the être verb, okay? So this is very important. I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you are, they are. So here, the they are is actually here for female, the also. But in English, you only have, my mouse start to kind of, don't know, it's not working, sorry, just quite. Yeah, also, it's a feminine group, okay? Voilà, à bientôt.